Galaxy experts have come from all over the world to an intimate workshop held at the Lorentz Center, part of the Leiden Observatory. But even while they ponder today's favorite theoretical problems, data is being returned from some of the world's most advanced astronomical instruments, probing the sky not for optical light nor radio waves, but for heat. Infrared observation has finally allowed astronomers to see the stars hidden behind the dust that populates the galaxy, and it's only been possible from space. In the early 90s, Derby, the diffuse background experiment on NASA's Cosmic Explorer satellite, opened new windows on our galaxy at 10 wavelengths all across the infrared spectrum. At the shortest infrared wavelengths, corresponding to the hottest sources, the radiation comes mainly from stars. They clearly outline the central bulge of the disk, with lots of nearby bright stars filling the sky. But as we switch the camera to longer wavelengths, the picture changes dramatically. The bright thin disk along the galactic plane is still there, but the central bulge of hot stars has almost gone.